to today's question and answer session. Today we're going to be focusing on some very personal questions, okay, to add to your file just to get to know you better, okay? Now, I'll be writing down all of your answers in this very confidential notebook of mine, okay? Now, we appreciate complete honesty in your answers, and like I said, this is just to get to know you better, okay? Of course, we will not be sharing these publicly. They will stay in our notebook, okay? Sounds good. Perfect. So, we'll get started then. And I'll start off with some easier questions to kind of warm you up, and then we'll move on to some more personal questions. Are you feeling ready? There's no need to be nervous, no need to be scared. These are just going to be staying in my notebook, okay? Of course, yes. But like I said, we'll start off nice and easy, and then we'll work our way up to some of those bigger questions. So first and foremost, are you excited for fall? Okay. And why are you not looking forward to the gloomier weather? Hate the rain. Okay. Is there any memory associated with the rain, or just don't like the rain? You love the sun? Most people do. Okay. What's your favorite holiday? Okay. We don't get that answer too often, so that's a fun one. What was your favorite part of the summer so far? I mean, it's coming to an end soon, but a couple weeks left. Thus far, what's been your favorite? Okay. And did you do that with a group of friends, or you and your family? Okay. Have you spent much of your summer with friends? Mainly family? Why is that? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We can talk more about your friends in a little bit, perhaps. Okay. What's something that you've always wanted to try, but you just haven't gotten around to it? Oh, it's very athletic. Okay, and have you just been too busy to try, or? Okay, it definitely seems like something you need to train for and perhaps get help with. Do you have trouble asking for help? Okay. I see. Oftentimes we can struggle asking for help if maybe we're embarrassed or we don't want to feel like a burden. Do you feel like any of those things may resonate with you? Don't want to feel like a burden. Talk about that more in a bit. If you could be any animal, what would you want to be? Ooh, they're fast. Would help with your hobby. Okay. And do you have any pets? Right. What do you think about the concept of pets? Yeah, certain animals are seen as pets, whereas others are seen as only like farm animals. What do you think? You'd love to have a pet cow? Me too. Okay. Very cool. Now, how have you been feeling lately? I mean, I know you said that fall's coming up, you're not looking forward to that. compared to, let's say, last time this year, are you feeling better or worse? Okay, about the same. And for about the same, what would you say that is? Okay. Do you find that your mood picks up closer to the end of the year with the holidays, or do you find that the holidays just bring on a lot of stress? Okay. Financial stress. That's quite common. And financial stress actually makes all other stress snowball. It compounds all other stresses. Yes. Okay. Do you find you spend a lot of time on social media? Okay. Oh, I see. Do you think that you might be addicted to social media a little bit? Okay. What app do you think is eating up your time the most? Tik Tok, yeah, that's a common one because you can just scroll so easy and it's short form content. It's kind of less attention span, definitely. What do you think of the concept of social media? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's both? Okay. No, I can agree with that, definitely. And do you think you'd ever delete social media, kind of go off the grid, or even just less so, delete some of those apps that are really eating away at your time? Maybe just keep something for family like Facebook, or you don't think so? Okay, and why is that? It's true, it does keep us connected. Do you have any friends on social media? Okay, do you keep up with their lives? Yeah. Do you ever find you're comparing yourself? It's quite common, yeah. And then how does that make you feel? Okay. But sometimes better, I see. Interesting. Do you find that sometimes maybe seeing that you're doing better than someone else can kind of have a negative effect? Like it makes you feel worse that you're finding happiness in someone else's struggle? Okay. Just more so in the sense because you've been through so much. I see. So you feel like this is your time now. Okay. Nope, just taking notes, don't worry. I'm only just writing down your answers. Dot jots, yes. Okay. And does your family have social media? Okay. And how have things been with your family? Gone closer over the summer? That's good. That's really good. Do you and your family share the same beliefs, or do you guys argue on a few things, whether that be, spiritual things, political things, whatever it might be? Okay. A lot of spiritual differences? How so? I see. Okay. And so then, what do you think the meaning of life is, or what do you think your legacy would be? Or do you believe in legacies? Okay. Okay. I see. Does the thought of the afterlife, because you said you believe in that, does the thought of that scare you, or is it a comfort? Do you think it'll be like getting welcomed home, or does the thought of that really scare you because you don't know what might come? Okay. Do you feel like if something were to happen to you tomorrow, that you've done everything you've wished to do in this lifetime? And what might be some of those things that you feel like you've missed out on or haven't done yet? Okay. Family. Start your own family? Okay. Soulmate. So you believe in the concept of soulmates? Okay. Do you think that people can have more than one soulmate? Okay. Have you ever been in love before? Do you think that love could have been your soulmate, or no? So do you think that love can exist outside of then soulmates, romantically speaking? You do. Okay. So you think even regardless of whether that person is your soulmate, if not, falling in love with them has meaning, has purpose? I see. Okay, that's a great answer. And you mentioned a couple things that you haven't done thus far, like if something were to happen to you tomorrow that you feel like you haven't done, you've missed out on, and why do you think you haven't done some of those things yet? Has it just been, financial obstacles? Has it been personal obstacles, like mental? Okay, some of that you need to believe in yourself more. Okay. Why do you think you might struggle with the confidence and believing with yourself? Is it anything to do with your childhood, family, friends? Okay. Oh, I see. So growing up, you were kind of compared to your siblings a lot? Okay. And are you better with your siblings now? I mean, you said you spent the summer with your family. Okay. And going back to the concept of soulmates, what would you look for in a person? What do you think your soulmate would be, or what do you think they would do? Okay. Excellent qualities. And what would be their job, do you think? Okay. What's your dream job? Do you believe in kind of the classic 9-to-5 work week, or what do you believe in? Okay. I see. And what do you think would happen if the world kind of adopted your views in terms of work-life relationships and habits? What do you think would happen? Yeah. Happier, please. Okay. What do you think about the world right now? When you think about now versus 50 years ago, do you think we've advanced in a lot of the ways? Do you think we've regressed? What do you think about just the general state of the world? Okay. I see. Do you think that being on apps and your phone constantly is making that worse for you? The stress of constantly seeing everything? Do you think that's opening up a lot of other people's eyes, or what do you think? Okay. I see. And so with that being your thoughts, would you want to bring kids into this world? Still want a family? Okay. How many kids would you want? Okay. What are some qualities that you'd want in your children? Yeah. Okay. Kind of marry your partner a little bit. Yeah. Do you think there's anything your kids could do that would make you disown them? That's a big one. Yeah. Would be pretty bad. Do you think that you could love your child no matter what, even if they did those things? Or do you think you'd lose that love for them, even if they were your child? Okay. And would you say the same for your partner, if they did the same? And what do you think about divorce as a concept? Do you think that people should stay together and work through things, even if they might have differences, disagree, or do you think that the concept of marriage should be upheld no matter what? Okay. Okay. about people who stay together just for the sake because they have kids together? Okay. What's an intrusive thought that you've had that you haven't acted on, but it's been really eating away at you or something? It can even be like one time I was on TikTok, funny enough, and I saw someone mentioning how they always have intrusive thoughts when they're at the train station to push someone in front of a train. Yeah, pretty bad. Like that. Nothing like that? Okay. Any intrusive thoughts that you've had recently? It could even just be like, I don't know, sticking your face in a watermelon. Okay. Let's see. And what's your favorite food? Okay. Do you have a good relationship with food? Okay. Got some planes coming outside. Speaking of planes, have you ever been on a plane before? Are you scared of flying? A lot of people are. Are you more scared to fly or to drive or to train or to boat? Are you scared of the ocean then? Never learned to swim? I see. Okay. Do you want to learn to swim? No real desire to. Okay. And if you could leave a legacy in this world, whether that be for your kids, for your partner, just the world in general, what would it be? Okay. And let's say money wasn't an obstacle. If you had all the money in the world, let's say you pulled, I don't know, like $1 bajillion out of thin air, and you could do whatever you wanted to with it, what would you do with it? And do you think you'd leave some of it behind for your kids? Do you think you'd use that to build a different legacy? How would having that money change it? Okay. I can see that. The money definitely changes people. Did you have a lot of money growing up, or did your family struggle financially growing up? Okay. Do you think that you've taken some of that stress into adulthood? Okay. Do you blame your parents at all for raising you under less than conditions, or do you think it wasn't necessarily their fault? Did they do the best that they could with what they had? I see. Okay. But your relationship with them has obviously gotten better. Okay. And like I said, if you had all the money in the world, let's go back to that one. What's something that you would change about the world? And being really selfish here, it's like something that you would buy, like don't worry about any philanthropy. If you had all the money in the world and you just wanted to spend it on something, what would you buy? A whole island. Do you like movies? What do you think of the film industry lately? Do you think that movies are going downhill? Do you think we've kind of hit a rut in movies? What do you think? Okay. I see. Yeah. And going back to, social media, what do you think about, like, kid actors are obviously, they are paid, and, there's a whole other side of child acting and the issues and whatnot, but what do you think about like children on social media and those families? What do you think about that, and how do you think that might affect the kids? Do you think everything's fine with that? Do you think it's bad? Okay. And comparing that to child acting, what do you think? Okay. Okay. And now you mentioned that, you kind of grew up with less than. Do you think that might also be why you struggled to ask for help? Because you were embarrassed to ask for help growing up? Or okay. And I know that you said you've distanced yourself with your friends. Do you think it has anything to do with some of those feelings coming up, or you just have different values than you? Okay, do you want to elaborate on that? Okay. For sure. And do you think it's hard to have those deeper conversations with your friends? And why is that? Scared if you'll disagree, though. Okay. Do you fear rejection a lot? Okay. I see. And do you think that makes you put up walls and barriers when meeting new people, and especially romantically? Do you think that'll make it hard then to meet your soulmate if you're so closed off? And if there's one thing that you think you'll take away from me asking you these questions, what do you think it would be? Kind of thinking about your answers and a common theme throughout that I can see. What do you think something you could maybe take away from it would be? Good or bad? Okay. I would say relatively the same, yeah. That's good. And last but not least, comparing last year this time to this year this time, do you feel more proud of yourself or less proud of yourself, and why? Okay. Very good. Well, I really appreciate you being so open and honest with me. I know that that's not an easy thing to do, so I really appreciate that. And like I said, don't worry, your answers in here are completely confidential. Okay, so you don't have to worry. But like I said, thank you so much for taking the time and your honesty, and I hope that you got something out of this Q&A session. And I love you so much, my little seashells. Sending you all lots of love. And if some of those questions might have been hard for you, I hope that some of my other videos can comfort you a little. But I really love watching these Q&As with the writing sounds and the personal questions, especially when I feel like I'm having a midlife crisis. Anyways, I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next one. And until our next